All right, it's almost there. Just one
Sure.
more minute.
Uh,
And we are recording now.
Okay, very good. So we just called to order at 5:06 p.m. Easton Board of Education for this special meeting. Members in attendance: Randy Hicks, Jeff Parker, Devin Weibel, Jenny Cheetah, and myself, John Stinson.
All right, and then for Region 9, we called to order at 5:04. Members present: Gwen, Maureen, Mary Lee, Juliet, Karen, Mike, and Todd. So we're missing Cheryl.
And I can call the Reading Board to order for the special meeting October 30th, 2020 at 5:07 p.m. All members appear to be present on Zoom.
All right, then we will move on to item number 2, which is public comment. If any members of the public, I think we've got just one member on, so any member, if member of the public would like to comment, raise your hand, or you're on the screen there, so the hand symbol in the chat room.
I see Cheryl. I'm bringing Cheryl in.
Announce yourself, name and address. Please limit your comments to 2 minutes. If we don't see an indication, we'll move on. All right.
Okay.
Move on. All right. All right, we'll move on then to board member comment, item 3 on the agenda.
Any comment from Easton? Okay. No, none from us.
Jeff waving?
No, he was just saying, nope, we're good.
Anybody in Reading?
Colleen, I would like to just say thank you to the crew that got this put together in such short order. The topic of the agenda is very important to me, so I appreciate all the effort that went into making this happen.
Thank you, Colleen.
Anybody else in Reading? Okay.
All right, and then Region 9, any board member comments? Seeing none, then we'll move on to item 4, discussion of possible action. Item A, establish joint board personnel search committee for director of finance and operations. So I think this is more of a procedural thing we need to determine, because this will also kind of set the course for the meeting and the subsequent sections that we do. We've got right now to go to executive session for interview and then come out and any possible action. If we go with personnel search committee, we could adjourn the meeting and then or recess the meeting, and we could all stay here, do the interview, excuse the public out, and then have any action as well that needs to happen. So we've got a couple different ways. We just, so people know, we put this on the agenda because we were rushing to get the agenda out the door yesterday before they closed, so we could post it because the town offices closed today and Monday and Tuesday next week for the election. So we wanted to make sure we had the flexibility. Since it's a special meeting, we can't add items to the agenda, but we can take them off.
So, I mean, can we discuss like which path we want to go, Todd, or do you have a preference you want to lead us towards?
Look, why don't we, I will probably break like a lot of rules here procedurally, but
I'll make the motion that we establish a personnel search committee for the employment of the Director of Finance and Operations.
Region 9 has a motion.
for Region 9. Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you need a second to discuss?
Yes, we need a second. And Region 9.
Second.
Second, Maureen. Okay.
Do I have the same motion for Easton?
Same motion.
Thank you, Randy.
Second.
Thank you, Jeff.
Anybody in Reading want to make that motion?
Make the motion.
Mike, is there a second in Reading?
Second.
Heather.
All right. So now we can have discussion.
Yep. So, I mean, I think we could do it. We could do it either way, right? We could recess to executive session and do it in there, or we could right now form a committee and then recess, which gives us the opportunity to sort of come back to this meeting and take additional action.
I mean, right now, the motion is just to form the committee. There's no parameters as to what the committee is composed of.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Okay. And usually the sort of the committee, at least the practice has been most recently that the committee consists of all members of all boards. Right?
Yes.
And I think that would be the intent here as well, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Is anyone have a problem with that from the Easton side? No?
Aye.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I have a clarifying question, and apologies, I'm late, by the way. Is this this is intended to be just for this sole purpose, not necessarily, we're separating what the practice will be going forward, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing to do. This is just for this particular
Right.
So
search.
this is,
Okay.
so the committee will be ad hoc. Okay.
Yeah.
And a personnel search committee, by definition, is
Yep.
limited to the function of identifying a candidate.
And I think we talked yesterday as a part of the negotiating committee, like nothing we're doing here necessarily locks us into this as precedent. So people shouldn't worry about that. Like we're going to get to that in a separate sort of policy discussion in the not too distant future.
Okay, and is the intent that this be as extensive as the similar comparable personnel search committee that was used to find our current superintendent?
No, because we wouldn't do a subcommittee of
Okay.
just certain members. This would be it. We'd have all board members on it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Personally, I find the idea of creating a search committee at this point confusing to the process and to the public. And as a practical matter, it seems much more simple and straightforward to recess to executive session to take care of the task at hand, without the additional framework of creating a new committee, appointing a chair of the new committee, going through all of those mechanisms for a relatively short form purpose.
Yeah.
If that's the will of everybody, I'm happy to sort of waltz through those steps. But
Yes, I agree, but in both respects, like it seems like we don't have to do that, but it's fine if we want to go through that process. Let's do it.
Actually, given what your objective is, you have to do that because doing it in executive session does not allow you to do, I think, what your intent is.
Okay. I don't think we have to bottom out on that and like, get a legal opinion on it. I think if anybody's concerned that it might not be kosher to do it, sort of another way, I think let's just do it this way and it's fine. Good. Any other sort of conversation on the Easton side?
Nope.
Okay.
any discussion in Reading? Chris?
Maybe I shouldn't, but can someone give a concise explanation of how this, how shall I put this? How this comports with the selection and interview process that we all know occurred for this position a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
I suppose another way to put it is, why are we here?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that there's been a robust screening process amongst, important administrative staff, amongst obviously the superintendent, amongst, right, like looking at a lot of resumes, understanding sort of the talent pool out there. And I think at this point, we have certain members of, some of our boards who would like to jump in and have an opportunity to personally interview. Some of us feel fine. Some of us say I want to have the chance to interview. And I think in the spirit of sort of what we try to do across the three districts, our intent is to honor the wishes of those who wish to have that opportunity to interview specifically. And I think a part of it is to be able to defend the questions that might come out of, hey, this person, why did we choose them? And to be able to sort of stand up personally and say, here's why we chose this person. So
Okay, John, thank you. Well stated, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'll say for Region 9, thank you, John. That's exactly what we would like to do.
Okay.
So I won't repeat it. Thank you.
So John, as you're the Easton Chair, are you going to appoint someone from the Easton Board to be on the committee?
I think we're all going to be on the committee. I think we're not going to do a subcommittee for the search. I think we'll all be a part of the committee and a part of the interview process, as opposed to, just having one or two people ask the questions. We'll all be open to asking questions.
Hot diggity.
Okay.
Is
I
it
think that
fair
will
to
be-
say that all three motions should be amended to designate a committee, personnel search committee of the whole?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
so I was going to clarify my motion if that makes it easier. That Region 9 establish a personnel search committee for the employment of the Director of Finance of Operations to include all board members and designate the chair of the board as a co-chair of the committee.
So that's a Region 9 personnel search committee, not a joint Easton Reading Region 9 personnel search committee?
Well, again,
We're already going down the semantics line, so I'm just trying to make sure I
we're
understand.
already part of it. So yes, if that makes you feel better, a joint personnel search committee.
I'm just trying to understand if we're having one committee or three committees. That's,
I think it's a joint committee
Joint.
we're
I
proposing.
think join is probably fine.
Yeah.
Right.
And Mike, I'm sorry, I didn't understand the chair part of it.
Well, if each board has their chair as a co-chair, we don't
Okay.
have to go through the.
We don't have to go and find a chair.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd
Sounds
be the
fine.
fastest way.
Good.
Mike
So if-
is giving his thumbs up, which suggests he is accepting that amendment to his motion as being the same.
Can you repeat it? Can you repeat it?
And can you clarify for me, are we making this one motion to include everybody, or each board is making their own motion like we usually do?
Each board will do their own.
Okay.
Each board will do their own. Mike
Right.
is just amending his first, since he
Right.
put the first motion out.
Establish a joint body.
That's right. So Colleen, I think, Mike, would you be able to repeat for Colleen? I think she was looking for just repeating that.
Establish a personnel search committee for the employment of the Director of Finance and Operations to include all members of the board and designate board chairs as co-chairs of the committee.
Thank you.
Cool. Randy, I think you motioned that for Easton, so amended?
Well, I'll make the same motion, but I'm sorry, gang. I don't have time today to do an interview.
Yep.
And I already talked to Clarence, so I'm going to be zipping off unless this is
Understood.
going to be a 10-minute perfunctory interview.
No.
If this will be an hour interview.
I don't think you would be required to sort of hang in for the entire time, Randy.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So Randy, so amended and
Yes,
yeah.
amended and
I second
as
it.
Mike D'Agostino.
Yep. Thank you.
Any further discussion on the as amended motion, Reading? Do you want to go around again, Tyler? Do you want me to call the question for Reading?
Why don't you go ahead? We'll just go reverse order around. It's fine.
Oh, sure. I'm just trying to keep it. Heather?
Yep, no, that's fine. We'll keep it moving.
Colleen?
Yep.
Mike?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Steph?
Yes.
Chris Hocker?
Yes.
And I will vote yes also, 7-0.
Okay.
All right, John.
We'll call the question in Easton. Start with Jeff, and then I'll go to
Yes.
Jenny. Thank you, Jeff. Jenny?
Yes.
Thank you. Devin?
Yes.
Thank you. Randy?
Yes.
I vote yes. That's 5-0. Thank you.
And for Region 9, call to question. Gwen?
Yes.
Yes. All right, Cheryl?
Yes.
Maureen?
Yes.
Mary Lee?
Yes.
Juliet?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Yes.
And Todd carries 8-0. All right, so I hesitate before we move off of this to now, just for procedural, if we're going to go to executive session or we're going to recess from this meeting, we need to probably table executive session next, recess this meeting and
I think this
Dismiss the
meeting stands
public.
in recess until sort of the call of the chair, and we would then move to a personnel search committee meeting, which practically speaking should probably be in a breakout room, because if this meeting is in recess, it should stay open for anybody who might want to.
Stay in the main room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we make it clear who, if there's anyone else invited to the session?
It's a non-meeting, so we don't have to.
Because we formed the committee, we can, it's a meeting.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We can invite who we want.
Right.
All right.
Right. Okay. So, Todd, I think unfortunately co-hosts can't create or manage breakouts.
Yeah, I'll create one now.
Right, now we're going into interviewing. What's
We're
what
going
we-
into it.
We're going to have to all move to recess our individual meetings until until the meeting is resumed.
Right.
And during the recess, the personnel search committee will hold a meeting,
Right.
a non-meeting meeting.
Non-meeting.
That makes sense, right? This is,
Yes.
this is,
Okay, so
this is worth
do I
it.
record this as the time we go to executive session? Is that,
No.
is that?
No, no,
This is going to be the
it's
time the
recess.
meeting stood in recess,
It's a recess, yeah.
Recess at 5:23?
not until there's a motion.
Yeah. So Easton, do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Randy. Do I have a second? Devin, second. Thank you, Devin. Okay, Easton stands in recess at 5:23 p.m. I'm
But
sorry,
is there a
we
motion
actually
to
need to vote on
recess
it.
Until, I guess, call of the chair would have to be the later.
I miss it. Can we vote on that in Easton, or do we need the?
Go for it.
Okay, Easton, all in favor of going to recess?
Yeah.
Okay, I see Jeff, I see Randy.
Yes.
I hear Jenny. Devin? Yes. Okay, 5-0. I vote yes as well. We stand in recess at 5:23.
Motion to recess in Reading.
Make the motion.
Mike, is there a second? Heather, is there any objection from the Reading board? Hearing none by unanimous consent, we recess at 5:24.
To recess.
Second.
Region 9.
Yep. Mike just motioned and then Mary Lee seconded.
Mary Lee.
Mike, Mary Lee, all right. All in favor? Region
Aye.
9. Looking across, we're good. All right, we're recessed at 5:24. So I created a breakout room and put all the board members in it. So let me open it now and we should all go over to that.